Hello everyone, Anita here, and this is day 11 of the 30-day sketchbook challenge. Thank you so much for sticking with me so far. It's going great. I'm feeling very, creative today. I really wanted to try again the washi tape trick or technique or whatever you call it. So I've decided to draw this really basic, just a character, just a girl, mostly clothing, something to work, with patterns. I didn't really want to have any story going on in the picture, just some kind of surface to try out a new technique, kind of practice a little bit more. And so I've been really, I wouldn't say obsessed, but I've been really interested in the Mori girl fashion lately. And so I just kind of pulled off of Pinterest a picture. And there was a girl there who had like this really nice dress with a scalloped edge. It didn't look anything like this, but I just went with that very basic A-line shape and the scalloped edge and just divided the whole surface of the dress, the whole area, into strips. Because I thought, I'm going to make those different areas with washi tape. Just try different things. Just to see how the washi tape will react. And I'm glad I did that because I've learned a lot about washi tapes, and it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be, because actually applying washi tape to your paper is not that hard. I didn't have any problems in the previous picture with the mermaid. I think it was day 5. In this case, I ran into some problems, but kind of obvious ones too. First of all, the washi tape I used on the mermaid was a light washi tape, and I could clearly see the outline underneath. If you use any kind of darker washi tape, it's going to be much harder, and this was my problem in here because I have decided that I wanted this girl, as you can see here, I'm drawing in the skin first because I wanted it to be very light with a little bit of a kind of like a purplish undertone. I really like adding purple on top of skin. I don't do it that often because it sets this really, and I wouldn't say sad, but sad effect is not the right way to say it. It just sets the kind of tone of color that I don't really use much in my pictures. So the purple doesn't really often fit. And in this case, the washi tape I chose had a lot of this pink and purplish undertone, kind of. So it fit really nicely, and I could use it. And as you can see, here is the problem. I'm using a really dark washi tape. You can't see anything, any kind. I really like that washi tape. It fits perfectly for a pattern on the dress. And it's really beautiful, but the only places I could see the lines were the little roses, the little flowers, were placed over the line. So I had to, as you can see, my head is popping into the view a lot because I had to really angle myself because the lines were visible only on a certain angle because washi tape is just slightly bit shiny, so all the light that I have above my surface were really reflecting in it, and it was very hard to see. But I was going for it, even though this project, I was talking about it before, I'm spending, in my opinion, way too much time on the sketches because this is supposed to be just a sketchbook, not a real illustration book. And so I wanted to make some easier designs, and I thought this was perfect. It's just a washi tape, just cutting out. I remembered with the mermaid that it took it was done quickly. It was fun. It was very pleasurable. It was a pure pleasure, basically, just cutting out the little pieces of tape. And not this one, not in this case. It took much longer than I've expected. Again. So between the black strips, I'm using this pink striped washi, and this one was really strategically chosen because it wasn't my first choice of washi, but after cutting all those black pieces, I was like, no, this is not how we're going to work with that. And so I chose specifically a very light washi so that I could see what's happening underneath. And I think for these kind of projects, of course, you can use any kind of washi you want, but if it was up to me again, and if I will be buying any kind of washi again, I will be paying attention so that I have patterns that are either lighter or that have both light and dark parts, so that I can see where where I'm supposed to cut. Because if it's only dark, it's really hard. This brown one was on the verge of being too hard to cut because it is a very light brown. It's not too dark. You can still see what's happening, but only on a certain angle. And so it took such a long time. I'm actually at some point I've decided to cut because the video was getting way too long and I wasn't really doing anything new. So I just cut, and as you can see, I filled in the rest of the spaces. And here because her eyes are purple, I wanted to add a little bit of purple washi. And this washi is also way too dark. I couldn't really see what I was doing at all, so that's why you could see me there removing that circle because it was very off-center. And then another thing I wanted to try, because I really wanted to have this picture to have a little bit darker background, but I wanted it to have a little bit of a texture. And so for the first time ever, I've used the sketching, the chiseled side of the Copic marker. I've never done that before in a painting ever. And so it was something new. It was really, it had a really nice effect. Of course, I used the W3 Copic, the one that I have a refill for, because this thing took way too much ink. And then I'm continuing my obsession with gold and filling in the hair with gold. Note to self, ink does not draw very well on top of washi. I thought it would because it's a very thick ink, but it doesn't. It just pulls, and I had to build it up in layers. So I waited for one layer to dry, and then I went over that one strip of hair that was over the washi because I just didn't feel like cutting it out. So then I'm just adding a few last details, adding the lines. I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the character itself. Initially, I wanted to add the Molotov pens everywhere, the lines from acrylic, basically, details. But when I was drawing in this lace at the bottom, it was just too thick. It was really thick. For some reason, because I've received those pens, for some reason, all of them, except of black, have the thicker nib, the 2mm nib, I believe it is. And except the black is the thin nib, so that one worked perfect. If all the nibs were actually thinner, and if I ever buy them again, I will use the nibs, but if the nibs were thinner, I would probably work it with more detail. But as you can see, I'm just adding tons of patterns. I was really excited about her scarf. It's just, there's nothing really behind it. There's just me having fun. That was a really fun picture to make. It felt really complete. I love that kind of pictures. And it's very nice to look at. As a finishing touch, I'm adding little pearls, pearl buttons to her dress. Because, I felt nice, felt fancy. And that's it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I really love this picture. I'm really into this one. For some reason, today was a good day. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Bye!